Look around you. Your job, your money, your privacy, even who runs your country. All of it is quietly being rewritten by something most people think just as a chatbot. It is called the artificial intelligence.
The AI revolution appears unstoppable, with the billionaires driving it still talking up a new world of promise. While for most people, it's mostly stirring anxieties about their job.
AI adoption is rapidly accelerating in the workplace, and now new research shows which regions and jobs are most at risk.
Recognizing artificial intelligence is quickly growing and likely to become intertwined in our culture.
Different nations with similar goals in the race for global tech leadership in AI. The 2026 World Artificial Intelligence Conference in Shanghai, China, brought together thousands of tech companies and leaders who are calling for worldwide cooperation on AI.
Hey everyone, my name is Kav Arora. Hope you're doing well. Today in this video, we're going to break all of it down together. In simple words, with real numbers, real charts, and few things the new channels are not telling. Machines have learned to think, or at least to do many of the things we always believed only human could do. Write, draw, diagnose, decide, and watch. And it is moving faster than any of the technology in human history. Stay until the end because the last part, the part about your electricity bill, your water, your loneliness, is the almost nobody's talking about. So stay tuned until the end. Okay, before I start this video, please note I'm not a financial advisor. Please do not buy, sell, or invest in anything just because a random person on YouTube, including me, said so. My only job here is to educate you and show you what's really going on in this world so that you can do your own research and make your own decisions. Numbers in this video might be coming from different sources like World Economic Forum or Stanford University or major news channels outlets. And I will name them as we go. Okay, let's begin with where it's gonna hit the most, which is gonna be your job. Here's the question everyone is scared to ask. Is your machine going to take my job? And how soon? Let me give you the honest answer. Not the scary headline and not the comforting lie. The World Economic Forum studied this carefully. Their finding for the year up to 2030 is this: around 92 million jobs worldwide will disappear because of AI and automation. But at the same time, about 170 million new jobs will be created. So on paper, the world actually gains around 78 million jobs. That sounds like good news, right? But here is the catch that the headline will never mention. The truck driver who loses his job does not magically become an AI engineer. A 50-year-old data entry worker in one country can't instantly fill a robotics job in another. The jobs that vanish and the job that appears are often in different places, need different skills and arrive at different times. So even if the total number goes up, millions of real people fall through that cracks in the middle. Economists call that gap the transition. For the people living through it, it just feels like the floor disappeared. Researchers expect roles like customer services, data entry, and admin support to face very high automation risk within just next year or two. Not 5 years or 10 years, 2 years, not 20. But now, I want to show you something most channels will completely miss. The damage is not just landing where you would expect. It is hitting the young the hardest. In the United States, entry-level job postings are down about 35% since early 2023. For junior software and data jobs, it's a brutal 67% drop. Nearly 43% of recent graduates are now underemployed, meaning they have a degree but are stuck in jobs that don't need one. Think about what it means for a second. 400 years, young people started at the bottom, making coffee, doing the boring tasks, learning the ropes, and slowly climbed up. AI is very good at exactly those simple starters can do. So companies stop hiring beginners. People call it the broken bottom rung. If you remove the first step of the ladder, how does anyone would climb? That is the quiet crisis of this generation, and it's only just a beginning. Okay, now let's talk about something that affects you even if you never lose your job. Your privacy and whether it still exists. AI's superpower is not just thinking, it is watching. A human god can watch maybe 4 camera screens. An AI can watch 4 millions forever without blinking, remembering every face.
Artificial intelligence is changing our lives. People use smart technology to answer questions, vacuum and monitor their homes, drive cars, and even bring them food orders. In China, the communist government uses AI to track and control the population. And big tech uses the technology to track people's interests and purchases. So first, how great is the AI threat to our privacy?
Oh, it's an overwhelming threat to our privacy. Everybody's living online right now, and we all opt in. We don't read terms and conditions. We just click that little button to move on to the next screen, which is, accept all, or however it may be presented to you. So people don't realize that all their data is being collected. This is being collected by websites, is being collected by applications. A lot of times it's extracted by, let's say, third-party adware or browser hijackers or programs that are referred to as potentially unwanted programs. This information then is collected, harvested, and sold actually on the dark web.
Facial recognition that identify you by your face in a crowd. Gait recognition identify you just by how you walk, even if your face is hidden. Predictive policing that flag you as a risk before anything can happen. Emotion detection, software that tries to read your mood and stress from your face. China has built the most advanced version of this. Cities there use linked cameras networks that can match a face to a national ID database in a second. Reports describe systems being tested that combine facial recognition with travel records, hotel check-ins, and phone data to track people almost in real time. The goal, critics say, is to stop dissent before it even forms. But, and this is very important, this is not a China's story. Democracies are buying these tools too. Let me introduce you to a company most people have never heard of, even though it may know a lot about it. Palantir.
After 17 years on the private market, data analytics company Palantir is ready to make its public market debut.
Co-founded by Peter Thiel back in 2003, its mission, providing software that customers use to integrate volumes of data from images to spreadsheets into a central platform where it can then be securely analyzed and interpreted.
News of Palantir's plans to go public, as well as its recent announcement that it will be relocating its headquarters from Palo Alto to Denver, has put the secretive software company in the spotlight. Best known for its work with U.S. government agencies like the CIA, the Department of Defense, and most controversially, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, the company was founded following 9/11 with the goal of defending American interests.
The core mission of our company always was to make the West, especially America, the strongest in the world for the sake of global peace and prosperity.
So, Palantir builds software that takes huge piles of separate data like tax records, health records, police files, immigration files, and links them together so a government can search a person's entire life from one screen. They work with militaries, police forces, border agencies, and health systems across the US and Europe. Their CEO, Alex Karp, does not hide the company's philosophy. He also talks openly about a future split between AI haves and have-nots. Now, Palantir argues it is not a surveillance company. It says it only provides the software and that governments decide how to use it. Critics, including human rights groups, say that's the clever way to avoid responsibility because the results is mass tracking of real people. Investigations have raised alarms about its roles in immigration enforcement in the US and patient data in the UK's health services, where tens of thousands of people signed petitions against it.
The agency has cracked down on illegal immigration through workplace raids and separating families at the border.
My house has been protested for many months, almost every day. Our offices have been protested. Many Palantirians protested against it internally. Some people were so upset by it that they left.
Here is the simple takeaway. The same AI that recommends your next video can be pointed at you. The question for every country is no longer, can we watch everyone? It's, should we? And who decides? So how will governments around the world actually use this power? It splits into two different paths. So path number one is just control. Watching citizens, scoring behavior, filtering the internet, and shaping what people see and what they believe. We already see that version of it. Path two is service. Using AI to catch tax fraud, speed up the hospitals, predicts flood, manage traffic and energy, and cut paperwork. Real benefits, right? The uncomfortable truth is that the same technology does the both, and most government will do a mix. The danger isn't a movie-style robot takeover. The danger is a bit quieter. Power slowly moving away from ordinary people and towards whoever controls the biggest AI systems and the most of their data. When a government can see everything and predicts your behavior, the balance between the citizen and the state changes, even in a democracy. That shift is happening right now and mostly without a public vote on it. Okay, let's follow the money into the future. Imagine AI and robots do a huge share of the work. That creates strange and serious problems. Today, government mostly runs on taxes paid by working people like me and you. Income tax from your salary. But if machines do the work, machines don't even earn any salary. And they don't even pay income tax. So if millions lose paid work, who pays the taxes that fund hospitals, schools, roads, and pensions? And just as urgently, how do the people without job would survive? Who helps them? So there are three big ideas on the table. None of them is just magic fix. So idea number one is universal basic income, which is UBI. The government simply pays every single adult a fixed amount of money every month, no strings attached, to keep a floor under everyone. Tech leaders like Sam Altman of AI and Elon Musk support version of this.
If you say, like, in the long term, where will things end up? Long term, I don't know what long term is. Maybe it's 10, 20 years, something like that. For me, that's long term. My prediction is that work will be optional.
Optional.
Optional. So.
We'll take that.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be like playing sports or a video game or something like that. If you want to work, in the same way, like you can go to the store and just buy some vegetables, or you could grow vegetables in your backyard. It's much harder to grow vegetables in your backyard, but some people still do it.
Altman even funded one of the biggest real-world tests ever. 1,000 people given $1,000 a month for 3 years. And here is the honest result, which the hype rarely mentions. People didn't stop working. They worked just slightly less and gained some freedom and flexibility. But researchers found no real improvement in their physical health, and people generally did not start new businesses. So UBI helped people breathe, but it wasn't a complete cure for what AI might do to the society. Useful, not a magic. Idea number two is a robot tax or an AI tax. If a company replaces a human with the machine, it pays a special tax on that machine or on its AI profits. that money funds support for everyone else. Altman has even floated taxing the value of big AI companies and sharing it with all citizens. The challenge: companies can move to countries that don't charge it. Idea number 3, massive retraining. Governments and companies retrain workers for the new jobs AI creates. It sounds great, but remember the broken bottom rung. You can't easily retrain a 55-year-old driver into an AI specialist, and new jobs may not appear in the same town. The real answer will probably be a messy mix of all three. The countries that figure this out early will stay stable. The ones that ignores it could face serious unrest. This is the biggest unsolved question of the next 10 years. And right now, nobody has fully solved it yet. Now to the money everyone's gambling. Big companies are pouring unbelievable amounts of cash into AI. The biggest US tech companies are on track to spend somewhere around $600 billion in a single year, building AI data centers and buying chips. To put that in perspective, that is bigger than the entire yearly economy of a country like Sweden and Belgium. On AI alone, in 1 year, that makes a lot of people ask the obvious question: is this a bubble, like a dot-com crash of the year 2000? So back in 2000, the internet was genuinely going to change the world. And it did. But investors got so excited that stock prices rose far beyond what companies could actually earn. The bubble popped, fortunes vanished, and the strong survivors like Amazon and Google came out the other side. So are we doing it again?
Amazon down big, Meta and Microsoft under more pressure as these CapEx concerns build after the 4 largest hyperscalers said they expect to spend more than $600 billion this year alone. But NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang just told CNBC last hour he's not worried about that. He thinks it's appropriate and that AI demand is sky high.
Demand is sky high, and there's a fundamental reason for that. We're in the once-in-a-generation infrastructure build-out. This is the largest infrastructure build-out in human history, and there's a fundamental reason for that. Artificial intelligence is going to fundamentally change how we compute everything. Everything from database processing, the way we do search, the way we do recommender systems, the way you shop, the way you watch movies.
Here's the fairest answer I can give you right now. There are strong arguments on both sides. On the this could be a bubble side, investors like Michael Burry, the man who predicted the 2008 crash, warned in 2026 that it looks like the final months of the dot-com madness. And there is a strange money pattern that worries a lot of experts. Let me show you. Watch how the money moves. The chip maker NVIDIA invests billions into AI companies like OpenAI. OpenAI uses that money to pay companies like Oracle to build data centers. Those data centers are then filled with NVIDIA chips, and cloud companies like Microsoft rent it all out. The same dollar keeps going round and round between a handful of companies, which is what you can say. Critics warn that this circular flow can make the whole industry look much bigger and healthier than it really is. On the this is not a bubble side, big banks and the US Central Bank point out a key difference from the year 2000. Today's leading AI companies make real money and have real customers using these tools every single day. ChatGPT alone has hundreds of millions of weekly users, and most of the spending is coming from companies' actual profits, not reckless borrowing. So, my honest read for you to watch yourself: AI is probably both. The technology is real and here to stay, but some stock prices may have run far ahead of reality, like the dot-com era. Even if crash comes, the technology survives. The question is just how many companies and how much people's savings get wiped out on the way. all of this sits on the top of the biggest contestant on earth right now. The AI race between the US and China. Whoever leads in AI may lead the world in military, economically, and politically. So, who is winning right now? That is kind of the real question everyone has. So, here is the clearest way to understand it. America is winning the sprint. China is built for the marathon. The US is clearly ahead today on the three big things: the most powerful chips, the most money, and the most advanced frontier models, the absolute smartest AI systems. America blocked China from buying its best chips, hoping to slow them down. But look at what happened. A Chinese company called DeepSeek shocked the world by building a model that was almost as good as the top US ones for a tiny fraction of the cost. The performance gap between the best US and the best Chinese models has shrunk from around 25 points a few years ago to under 3 points today. China now files most of the world's AI patents and Chinese open source models, free for everyone to download and modify, now power roughly a third of the world's AI developers, from Africa to Southeast Asia. So it's two different games. America is racing to build the single smartest, most powerful AI. China is racing to make AI cheap, open, and everywhere, spreading its technology across the world, especially developing countries. Who wins? The honest answer in 2026 is nobody has won it yet. The US is ahead, but the momentum, the speed of catching up is on China's end. And there is a warning sign for America. The number of AI researchers moving to the US has dropped sharply while China keeps producing more and more science graduates. The race is far from over. Okay, as promised, the surprises. These are the parts most video skips and they affect you directly. Surprise number 1. AI is raising your electricity bill. This is real. AI runs in giant building called the data centers that drinks enormous amounts of power. In the US, data center power demand is to set nearly double in just 3 years, like plugging a whole new country the size of Spain into the grid. And guess who pays for those upgraded power lines? You do. In parts of the US, near these centers, household electricity bill have jumped. One Virginia family saw their bill leap from $100 to $281 in a single month. As more data centers get built around the world, this pressure on power and water bills is coming for more of us. Almost nobody connects AI with why my power bill is so high, but the link is direct. Surprise number 2. AI is also drinking your water. Here is the part that sounds almost unbelievable. Those giant computers don't just eat electricity. They get hot, and the most common way to cool it down is water. A lot of water. In 2023, US data centers used around 17 billion gallons of water. And that number is climbing fast with projections reaching the 30 plus billion gallons range by 2028. Globally, experts estimate data centers may need around 170% more water by 2030. And often it's the clean, drinkable kind, drawn from the very same supply that nearby towns use for drinking, and that farmers use for crops. So in some places, a single data center can quietly compete with an entire community for water. So to be fair, and I always want to be fair with you, one model's training uses less water than a small patch of farmland uses in a year. So it's not the only thing straining water supply, but multiplied across thousands of data centers being built worldwide in regions that are already short on water, and you start to see the problem. We are powering rivers of electricity and water into machines so they can think for us. Nobody put that onto the browser. Surprise number 3. AI is becoming people's friend and partner. This one is deeply human. Millions of people, especially teenagers, are now talking to AI companion apps every day. Surveys suggest roughly 3 out of 4 US teens have used an AI companion, and many spend hours a day with them, more than they spend on some social media. Some say they prefer talking to an AI over real people. These bots offer endless attention and zero conflict, but researchers warn they can deepen loneliness over time and create real emotional dependence in young minds that are still developing. We are running a giant experiment on human connection with no idea how it's gonna end. Surprise number 4, and the deepest one, I would say. The real danger of AI may not be a killer robots from the movies. It may be something quieter, a massive shift of power and wealth toward the small group of companies and governments that control the most powerful AI. When a few players own the machines that do the thinking, the watching, and the working, the rest of us risk becoming bystanders in our own world. That's not a science fiction. That's a choice being made right now. And the more people who understand it, the better the choice will be. So here's where we land. AI is the most powerful tool humans have ever built. It can cure diseases, teach every child, and lift the whole country out of the poverty. It can also take jobs, watch our every move, and hand enormous power to a tiny few. Both futures are real, both are possible, and which one we get is still being decided. The worst thing you can do is look away and assume someone is smarter is handling it. They are not. The best thing you can do is exactly what you did today. Understand it. Because a population that understands AI is much harder to control than one that's asleep. So if this opened your eye, even a little, share it with someone who still thinks AI is just a chatbot. Tell me in the comments which one of these scared you the most. The jobs, the surveillance, the bubble, your electricity bill, or the water. I'm not here to sell you a fear or hype. I'm here to show you the world as it really is, so you can decide what to do about it. Please subscribe if you like this video. I'll see you in the next one.